Hello again and welcome to my how-to monthly video. I love these videos because I think we all just want to know how we can do it ourselves, and I think that's really important. And as much as I know that information will unlock your DNA and help you get to that level where you are experiencing, the how-tos are pretty straight to the point. So I don't necessarily have like steps in this video. I'm just gonna kind of riff and explain how I used to make chi balls and psi balls all the time, and then what you can basically do with those chi and psi balls, okay? So please, if you have not watched my previous video for the membership program, and it was, I don't even know what I'm going to entitle it, but it's all about piezoelectricity and accessing the chi. Okay, if you haven't watched that, please stop this right now and go watch that because it's a really good lead up to doing this exercise. Okay? All right. So this is all intuitive. I've never been taught necessarily how to do this, so take it or leave it as always. What you will need to do this exercise is a really dark fabric. That is going to be the easiest way to see energy, is a really dark fabric. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually turn my blazer around so that I have just kind of the black in front of me. Hopefully this works. It's a little bit awkward. All right. Okay, that's good. That works. Okay, cool. So it's really important to have black behind your hands. So what I used to do when I was in university was I would put like a black sweater or a black blanket or a blazer, whatever, a black shirt on my lap, and then I would put my hands on top of my lap, and that, for me anyway, was the most comfortable way to do it. I did these exercises sitting down. I would probably recommend that, but once again, that's just what felt comfortable for me, okay? Okay, yeah, you don't need to be in any sort of position to do this. Now, I guess to start off with, a chi ball is really just taking the energy, the frequency, the vibration that is existing within your body and accessing that frequency and energy from around you and moving it out through your hands and your fingertips into a ball, into a sphere in the middle of your hands, okay? So what else do I want to say about that? I would say that the practical uses of this, the main one that I worked with is just really getting to know how to flow your energy. Now, for example, even today, I'll go to bed and my feet are freezing, right? They're really cold. And I've got poor circulation, especially when I'm astral traveling and channeling. So what I do is I move the energy in my body, which then moves my bloodstream back into my feet, and instantly my feet will go tingly and then they'll start to warm up. Okay, that's just a practical application of being able to move your energy. Say, for example, you're having lower abdominal issues. You have pains, you have digestion stuff, you have bloating, cramping, whatever. Something's going on in your sacral chakra. So move the energy that's all around you on the outside, but also within you, through your body, down into the sacral chakra and out through the bottoms of your feet. I do want to mention that when moving energy through your body, be aware that energy can only ever release, I guess there's six places that energy can release. Your hands, out through the palms of your hands, energy can move out and move in. The bottoms of your feet, energy once again can move out and move in. The top of your head, energy can release and accumulate, move in. And then also your base root chakra, energy can move in and out, okay? So just know that technically, because it's just the image is popping into my mind, that I have seen my body release energy all around me, like almost like steam moving off of my body. But for the most part, when we really want to do a clearing, or we really want to bring in white light, we want to focus on the movement on the palms and the bottoms of the feet mostly, and sometimes the top of the head and the base root. It really depends on where you're at. Yeah, so just keep that in mind. Maybe one more thing about energy and moving energy is typically we gain access to pure source energy, which is infinite, like infinite amounts of frequency and energy. Anytime I'm healing myself, anytime I'm healing a friend or family member, I will always connect my energy to source right away and have source energy move through me to heal me, or source energy move through me to heal someone else. That way you are ensuring without doubt in your mind that you are pulling from an infinite source, not pulling from a limited source, which is within you. And that's how we get drained, okay? So typically I will bring source in through the crown chakra, and typically I will move old energy or icky energy out through my whole body and down through my base root chakra. And then there's a cord that grounds us. It's called the grounding cord, and it will plug us right into planet Earth and help us stay in our body. And I always, always, always thank Mother Gaia for taking on my icky stuff. And I always leave the door open and ask her how I can give back to her when I do clear my energy and get rid of the ickies. Okay? So just know that that's kind of how I do it. You know, I'm sure everyone has their own way, but it's just something to keep in mind. So the main benefit is like healing, being able to move your energy throughout your body, accessing that chi, building up your frequency, either to raise your vibration, maybe during meditation, maybe when you wanted to connect with your spirit guides or the Galactic Federation. You need to build the chi to get to a frequency level where you can talk to interdimensional beings while you're still sitting in your 3D body, okay? And what else did I want to mention? So the healing, raising the frequency, energy movement in the body and clearing. And then I would say, there was one more that I wanted to talk about. Oh yeah, moving stuff. Okay, so if you create a chi ball, all right, so there's like a direct connection to chi balls, not just the practice of moving the energy, but the ball itself, you can push that energy ball toward an object and you can move the object. This has never really happened for me. The only object that I was able to move with my mind, which is really sad. I honestly thought that at this point in my life, I would be like full on, like, pass me a crystal. You know, so I'm a little behind my own expectations from like 10 years ago. But I also haven't practiced. And every time I practice, like literally back then and today, I'm getting back into it. My spirit guides, especially my grays, will always tell me, you're trying too hard. Because I literally hurt my mind, like I hurt my brain. I give myself a headache trying to move this object so intensely. So I'm probably not the right person to be teaching telekinesis, because I haven't even come close to doing it, let alone mastering it. Okay, one thing about telekinesis though. There is a trick that a lot of people do to kind of just start practicing, and I got this trick from other people. I didn't get this from my own channeling. So you basically take a toothpick, and then you take some tin foil, and you make the tin foil into like a little, like almost like imagine like a little helicopter blade on either side, so it's balanced, and you balance the little bit of tin foil on the toothpick, okay? And then some people even put like a glass dome on top of it or wear a mask when doing this, just because any slight little breathing will actually move it. But that I've been able to get spinning. Like that I've been able to move with my mind quite easily. Not a pencil though, not a mug, not a ball on a table, none of that. So I'm working on it. But you are able to like build the chi and project it into something. Oh yeah. Okay. Also, you're able to, this is what I used to do in past lives. And the same psychic who told me about the Qigong master told me that I should stay away from fire because I used to start fire with my mind in past lives. That's actually always freaked me out, hearing that at such a young age. And what did I do? Oh yeah. So you can also build chi in your hands, which I was started to do with Qigong, and you can start fire with your chi energy, which is pretty cool. But that takes a while to get to. Like I actually have never tried that. I think once again I'm scared, but I should really get back into that and overcome that. Okay, so those are the practical applications. So the first thing that you should practice and work on is the fingertip, the fingertip, I don't know, homework practice. I'm like losing my words. So basically, I mean, there's no way in particular that I do this. I learned about this fingertip thing, not through channeling, but through the book, not the 10th Insight, but like the Insight books. Totally lost my my memory on that one. But anyway, they did this in the first book, is like watching the energy between your fingertips. Once again, it is going to be the easiest to do this when there's a black background. So you could go like this. You could go like this and have all your fingertips touching and then try and get the energy moving between the two fingertips. I feel like personally, this is probably the smartest one because you're connected on all of the fronts. I think I just folded my hands like this and did this, and it worked for me years ago. I haven't done the fingertip thing in a long time. I haven't done a chi ball in a long time. So you want to build your energy before you try and export the energy from your fingertips to take a look at the energy lines, okay? So I love building my energy through Qigong, through literally just standing and breathing and building and rising and pushing and pulling. That's, for me, is that body movement is the easiest way to build energy. I don't think that you guys should watch a video. I think you should just intuitively move. I really, truly do. Because I think Qigong masters, Tai Chi masters, you can do Tai Chi on the side, but as far as building your energy, Tai Chi can be a slow meditation movement, and it's not necessarily meant to build the energy. With piezoelectricity, you want to actually, like, what I read was that you tighten, you hold. It's like, it's like, I think like you tighten your whole body, like you hold it, because once again, piezoelectricity is built up in the bones of your body through pressure. That's really where piezoelectricity comes from, is through pressure. We can do quantum pressure or physical pressure, and the physical pressure is just to hold. And when you start doing that and you're squeezing your whole body together, you can literally feel the buildup. Like I feel it all in here. You can also sit and meditate and tune into the source frequency and bring source frequency in. That's also going to amplify your vibe and get you activated. I think those are kind of the main ones. And then I guess the other one would be like binaural beats or like sound frequency as well, I believe could really amplify your energy. So either way, I mean, 10 years ago, I did nothing to amplify my energy. I just did this. So you could just do that too. If you're not having good luck with just doing this, you don't want to move to this because that's even more intense. So start with the fingers first, then move into the hands. And if you're not having any luck seeing energy between your fingers, then you want to use the amplifying and the building techniques. So here's what you should see when you amplify your energy and you project it through your fingers. And I think just like I didn't even really visualize energy coming through. I set the intention that energy was going to move its way through my body, connected from source, out through my fingertips, and connecting with each other in almost like this invisible line of frequency. Now, what's really cool about the finger thing and the hand thing, the chi ball, is that you should be able to actually visually see energy with your naked eye. Cool, right? Super cool. So eventually you should all get to that point. For me, that validated the validity. It validated the fact that energy is real and it's tangible when I saw that back in 2010 or 2011 or whatever. Okay. So you want to sit there. I probably sat there for an hour, probably practiced an hour a day, maybe gave myself a break in between. But I would sit there for quite some time focusing on my fingers and focusing on the energy in between. And actually, it's funny because even when I'm like thinking about it, I can feel the tips of my fingers starting to tingle. Like it almost feels like a little like bit of an electroshock. Also, you'll be able to feel them heating up as well as a very common sign. So the tingling, the heating. Then you want to practice kind of moving them closer together and pulling them away and pulling them apart and seeing what you can see, right? Like I said, the black on the background really helps. When you feel like you're seeing things, when you are seeing things and you're feeling the tinglies and the warming up and you feel good about that, then you want to move into this. There's pros and cons. One is it starts off as a really small ball, okay, in the center of your hands. You have to be patient, okay? It's like the biggest thing. You have to really sit there for quite some time before it accumulates. But because you have more than just two fingers in the throw of things, in the mix of things, it can accumulate a lot faster, even though it's a much bigger space to see something from. So I want to tell you, like, when I was doing this, it was so cool. I'll explain like what I visually saw. And like, I'm telling you with my naked eye, not my third eye, there is a difference. It's very, very subtle, but slowly but surely, the more I was looking into this open space and focusing on the movement of my energy, you can also go like this too. That'll help to activate your palm chakras. And I don't want to get distracted by seeing anything, so I'll just like leave it. But so at first I started to see the weirdest thing ever. Little tiny sausage-shaped squigglies. I don't know how else to say that, okay? Little tiny squigglies. And they were coming out of everywhere. They were coming out of the tips of my fingers. They were coming out of the palm of my hand. These little tiny squigglies. And they were all rushing. Like, honestly, I don't even want to go into there. Okay, but they rushing from my hand, all these little squigglies into the center of my hand ball, And slowly but surely, you kind of focus, you go out of focus, you're working with your eyesight here, and slowly but surely you'll start to see this little squiggly ball forming in the middle of your hands. And when enough of the squigglies go in and you're patient enough and you're building it enough, some of you may do this on the first try, some of you it may take a while. I can't remember for me how long. It didn't take me too long, I remember that, but there was a lot of patience involved. And what was it? Yeah, so then when enough of these squigglies get together in the middle, it gives off this like really beautiful blue tint. You would think, like, I thought that maybe it was just going to be, I didn't even know what it was going to look like. I didn't even think I was going to see anything. But I would kind of imagine that if you're getting energy and putting it together, it would be white. It would be light, right? It would be white light. And it wasn't. It was blue. it was this really incredible, like almost like an indigo, like a darker but also kind of electric blue color of all of these squigglies in the middle of this ball. Like I said, I got to that point, I built the ball quite a bit, and I even tried to build the ball and to push the ball into an object to move it. But no matter how hard I tried, it just wouldn't happen. I was so like desperate to work on telekinesis. Like I think I just wanted a physical representation of my abilities. That's, I think, what I was really, that's why I was desperate for the telekinesis, is to have that physical representation. Like I said, it started with the fingers, then it went into the ball, and then it went from there. And I still haven't, I think at the point where I'm like, I don't care about telekinesis is the actual moment where it's going to happen. So it always happens that way. And yeah, so I hope that you try the chi ball. I hope that maybe you were trying the chi ball, or you're trying it right now while you're listening to this. And yeah, so just, I think, practice with the fingers first, really get to know your own energy and frequency, amaze yourself by what you are able to see and what is real and what is out there. Okay, and then I guess I'm going to do one last story here. It's all around the same time where I was working with these chi balls. It was so cool. So I was in my like basement apartment, going to university. It was like my second year, I believe, so 2011. And I was staring at this plant. I had this plant, just like a desk plant or something, in my basement apartment. And I was staring at it, and the plant had an aura to it. I started to see the aura around the plant. Very, very, very similar to the chi balls and the fingers. I started to see this like blue squiggly lines coming off of the plant. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this is so cool. And so then I went like this, and I touched the leaf of the plant to see my squiggly aura interact with the plant's squiggly aura, and this energy exchange that we were having. It was like just so wild. And then, okay, this is gonna sound crazy. I had a plastic cup from the dollar store. It was like this pink plastic, like kind of like children's cup. And I'm looking, because I'm just like tuning into what energy looks like. I'm looking at this cup on my desk, right? It's beside the plant. Looking at the cup, and I start to see a freaking aura around the cup. And I'm like, what? No, there's no way. A plastic cup is an inanimate object. How does it have frequency? How does it have energy? This doesn't make sense. And so then I hold the cup, and I'm looking at my hand in the cup, and now the cup's energy and my hand's energy are intermingling. And the information that got downloaded to me, because I was like kind of freaking out, was inanimate objects are unable to produce their own electromagnetic frequency. However, they do store electromagnetic frequency from other living things. So as I was interacting my hand with the cup was absorbing the energy that I had around my hand. As I touched the cup to the plant, the cup is absorbing the plant's energy. If I were to put that cup through a dishwasher or wash it myself, you were to get rid of that energy, that frequency. Kind of like when we wash Abby's toys, right? Our dog. When we wash her toys, she doesn't want to play with them anymore because her energy isn't all over them. Same thing with a kid. You wash his favorite blanket and all of a sudden the kid's screaming and crying because you've cleared the frequency. Even though it's an inanimate object, that object has an aura. It's just an aura that is created by the projection of the reality of the other living things around it. Anyway, fun point. Yeah, that's when I really started to get into what is an aura and how do we interact with other auras and how do we keep our aura clear from the interaction of other auras. So interesting, so interesting. Okay, one more point, because it just popped in. So this is where, and I think I just did a Q&A video on this, but this is where I believe that curses do exist, as crazy as it sounds, as odd as it sounds. if I were to give you any object, like I could give you a lollipop, I could give you a crystal, I could give you a blazer, and I could tell you, you know, this is gonna like really heal you. This is gonna really bring you good energy and good vibes. Guess what that object is gonna do? It's gonna heal you because I put that intention into the inanimate object and then I gave that object to you. Likewise, if I were to put a really negative intention, a really bad vibe into an object and give it to you, it's going to affect you that way because that's the intention that I put in. So a curse is really just someone having a strong intention and imbuing an object with that intention, therefore giving the object an aura, which is a strong negative or a strong positive intention. Same thing goes with religion. You know, miracles are created because we believe. So let's get back into believing. But instead of believing in a God in the sky or that a crystal is even going to heal you, believe in yourself, that you have the ability to do all the things that everything else you believe can do for you. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me on this wonderful how-to video. Definitely leave some comments below and let me know how that all went for you. Have you ever tried it before? How did it go? Where are you at with your patients? Did you see anything? And yeah, just give me all the updates. Thank you all so much. I will be back as always. I will see you all in the 5th dimension.